I wanted to make a quick. Okay, hello. I wanted to make a video on Obverse. I have to hide this shit. I'm gonna fucking stare at it the whole time. I wanted to make a video on Obverse, just talk about their EP, which is not really recent anymore. It's a couple months old, like maybe 4 months old off the top of my head. I wanted to talk about what I like about the album, what I don't like about the album. This isn't supposed to be a review. It's more supposed to be a commentary on it. And I guess the difference between a review and a commentary is a review like scores things. A commentary is just I want to talk about this, and I don't have anyone to talk about progressive ambient music with. So um, that's what I'd call it. First off, they say in interviews that it is like genreless or whatever, but I guess that's what everyone who makes progressive music says. I would call it ambient music with heavy progressive influence. The roster's looky stacked. It's the three of these guys. You have Chris Allison, who played in Bellini. He's the drummer. Dan Briggs, who's in like some good ass bands. Looky, he's in fucking Trialscapes, which is pretty good. They got like one good album. Nova Collective's badass. They got the one that kind of looks like Loki. I think Dan Briggs might be in Nova Collective too. Wait. Because that album cover of fucking. Did I look up the same guy twice? The album cover for Chris Allison might be in Nova Collective. The album collectum that the album cover for Nova Collective looks like fucking the drawing. It's not what I wanted. Dan Briggs, Richard Henschel, who's a pretty famous guitarist in the progressive scene too. Members, drummer. Matt Lynch. Okay, so just a different dude. Trialscape's drummer. He's very good. Unrelated. I want to talk about the good with this album, the bad, and why I think it is a failed project or a misguided project. The reason I say I don't know record sales. I know they sell records for this. We can actually look at this. But for these three professional musicians, very well known professional musicians, it is hard to imagine that they profited off this. And I guess everyone profits off making art or whatever. But can I fucking copy paste? I guess not. What's this album called? Obverse. Let's see. You can buy it for $8 digitally. I want a physical record. They sell it on like Hogsweed. Here we go. $25. I think that's reasonable for a record. The CD is $15. Really reasonable pricing. No issues with that. I wonder if they're sold out. Okay, so they're not sold out. I get music is not always about money. For professional musicians, music is about money because these are all three professional musicians. They're career musicians. We'll start with the good. I think there are some incredible shows of not technique but musicianship in this album. I think there is some really creative snare placement. Oh, by the way, I'm going to talk about this whole thing as if it's one song, because that's looking how it's supposed to be consumed, I think. I don't know if I can actually put this on YouTube. But there's some really creative snare placement. I think there are some very compelling bass lines. I think there are some cool, kind of unique texture to a 5-string bass, admittedly. Kind of pathetic compared to a 6. But a 5-string bass and the harp where they're playing, Emily will be playing like nylon-ish lines on like a cleanish harp, and Dan will be a little bit lower, playing like I don't know, euphony, euphonic. That's not a monophony. It's the same line played on two different instruments with two different ranges with two very different signature sounds, and I think that works really well. There are some really cool departures where Emily will play something that is more ambient, and the two in the rhythm section keep it held down pretty well. So this album has like no listeners, and I want to talk about why I think that is. From two progressive giants. Maybe that's not fair. I'm a progressive fan, and I know both of them. Or I know both their work. I guess I didn't know them by name. But wait, look, if we go to my progressive playlist, I've got Nova Collective stuff, and then I'm positive I have what was the other thing he was in? Fucking Trioscapes? That's not what I want. Trioscapes. Yeah, I got Trioscapes. I got one of their albums. I don't really like this one very much, but I haven't listened to it in a minute. But yeah, very well known. Very well received, I think, overall. So why is this... Tricot's fucking good too, by the way. Why is this not getting any listeners? And I think the reasons are like threefold. This is pretty ignorant. I'm sorry, the way that this is released is pretty ignorant to how music is consumed by the average music fan. With any of these other albums like Trioscapes or Nova Collective, you can listen to them individually, and they're all individually great 9-minute songs or whatever they are. Obverse is dog shit if you listen to any of these individually. You have to consume this whole thing front to back, so it is a kind of like the band Sleep, where like you just have to listen to the whole thing. You're getting nothing out of it. It's like a half hour song then for the average person. What, I can't do the fucking math on this. What's the Soul? Yeah, like this song. It's goated. It's very good, but it's 43 minutes, and you have to listen to the whole thing, or you're not getting the experience. And I think for a lot of people that's just not something they're willing to do, or they don't have the patience for. I do have a verse in this playlist. I like the album quite a bit. There's a bunch of ideas I'm really, really fond of in it. Rhythmically, it's very, very, very interesting at parts. I have some issues with... I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I have some issues with the use of effects in it. It's excessive, I'd say. And Emily is kind of a career pedal shill on YouTube. So I get like having access to all these pedals, you want to use them a lot. But there is so much I guess like beauty and restraint in some of these parts where the bass and the harp have such a large separation in the kind of the tones they produce. It gives you some actual ambient space, even though there's a lot going on with just these three instruments. When you put on like this fucking shimmer and it's got like 45 degrees of random on it, it is not impressive to me. It is not ambient, because it's just like fucking TV static to my ear. It is not pleasing to my ear, I'd say. So I take issue with like the excess of harp effect on it. I think the same could be said with some of the distortion on the bass. It's a little bit cheesy. It's like it's not like a bass distortion you'd hear in like death metal, where it is to like fatten it up and give it like punch. It is like a boss metal zone distortion, where it's like got that chunky, not chunky, like fuzzy. So I'll add timestamps for each of these kind of things, but like that's a beautiful sound in my ear, at least. But he has some lines. I know with the fucking layout of this is hard to find like individual shit, but I'll give some timestamp examples like this. I don't know if this song needs this to drive. I don't know if you need this crazy overdriven bass with the crazy removed harp to have a point of tension or a point of climax in your song. I think you can get that with just like musicianship and writing a lot easier, and with a lot less cheese to it. The other thing I want to talk about when it comes to why this album has so few listeners, despite being, I think, really impressive in a lot of parts. Like I said, rhythmically very interesting snare placement. I think big names is people like me who have like pretty organized 200 songs, 300 songs, 90 songs. Progressive, this does not have 5 songs. This is like fucking 360. I've got a bunch of stuff in FLAC, like, who have a bunch of music, and then they like take their playlists and then they do album shorting and stuff. Like, these are the type of people who are into progressive music and would be interesting in sitting down for 40 minutes to listen to your song. This was added a while ago. When it came out, I added it, but I had number 3 missing for some reason. And I was listening through, and I was like, I remember there being more parts to it, so I thought there was 5. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. But the point is, people like me who listen to a bunch of music who might like this album. I'm someone who says, like, this is a good album, you should listen to it if you're into progressive music, or any of these 3 musicians, or personalities, I guess, in the case of Emily. That's really fucking rude. I didn't mean it like that. I meant, like, she's a musician, but she's also a personality, and if you're into her, like, YouTube thing, then you should still listen to this, because it's fucking good. But yeah, people like me who have a bunch of music that they listen to, and on top of that, they're always looking for new music to listen to. They don't always go back and listen to this fucking 40-minute thing at every opportunity. Even if you do listen to music for 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, like I do, between driving, the gym, showering, brushing my teeth, fucking shaving, like eating, always got something going on. So I think that's I understand there's a creative incentive behind it if you're making something that's supposed to be more ambient in nature to make it more flowy or whatever. But this is a consequence of that, I guess. Consequence of musicianship that kind of led them this way. What else did I want to talk about with this? I don't think I talked on pedals enough. I feel like there's some annoying excess of the harp effects. It's okay. I want to talk about the randomization of the harp. When you listen to Kirk play, because I love Kirk. He will play just like bullshit sometimes. If you look like Freaks for the Festival. Here. He will. Okay, whatever. My point will be made. He plays bullshit sometimes because he's a avant-garde jazz musician. That's what they do. They play bullshit sometimes, and all of his bullshit is backed by not like a computer that has been diddled in a certain way. The knobs have been diddled in a certain way to like push out this random kind of output. With a saxophonist or a musician of any type who's playing bullshit random nonsense, there is some interest in like every single thing this musician has heard, everything this musician has seen if they're playing live, like the night of, you know, what they ate that day, like how much they slept. It's going to influence what bullshit they play, like which scale they derive it from, what it's tied to. If it's just like a patterned playing, like if he's just playing like fourths up with the neck or whatever, or not the fucking neck, he's a saxophonist, but there's some interesting decisions that can be made there, and it's going to be different every time he plays, because there's so many factors that can influence what Kirk fucking shits out when he's on stage, during like the fucking this third hour of his set or whatever. It's going to be different than when he just gets on stage the same day, the weather, like, you know what I mean? Whereas if you diddle the knobs on fucking the Shimmer Mega fucking Giga Harp Annihilator, you're getting different sounds, sure. Like there's a bunch of like different effects colliding with each other, but they sound like fucking TV static to me. It's all the same. It's my biggest issue with this album, I think. Is the lack of a story. In jazz, you're told a story. Even in a solo that is avant-garde, there is an intent. There is a strong, even if it is just like pretentious, circle jerk, ego feeding stuff. Like there is a passion behind every note that's played, and even if it is not like directly influenced by anything. It is influenced by everything at the same time. I guess, if that makes any sense. That's how I feel. With Emily, when she fucking diddles the harp and plays the harp for probably 7:38 minutes on this album, with just like a fucking quintillion shimmers and delays, and they're all colliding and making noise. It's not ambient and spacious and tasteful. It is excessive, and it is heavy-handed, even though it's a very well mixed album. Everything has its own like spot, but you're taking up so much space, and it's not even the right word. You're not taking up too much space. You're taking up too much of my brain power. Because like when I'm listening to something, I'm listening to each line. I'm saying, oh, can I take this? There's some cool rhythmic stuff there. Wow, look at that snare placement. Like I said, the snare placement is fucking. There's some songs on here, or not some songs, some segments on here that are just really impressive, and they show how much these two or these three know about like music. Like they've obviously played some progressive music before. When this harp is like just like fucking wailing octuple delay collider, bro, the fucking hadron collider, nuclear reactor type shit, it is exhausting to the ear. That's what it is. It's like when you have headphones that have too much high end in them, they become grating on the ear, and I become disinterested in listening because I'm tired. My ear is getting tired. I'm sure if any of you listen to music on a long for like a long period of time, you get like tired in the ear. If you listen to any of the old Death albums, Death, they have so much high end in them. Like the Scream Bloody Gore is a great example. I don't know if the reissue is as bad as the original. Bad, obviously. I fucking love it, honestly. And it works in the genre, I guess, but like in a tasteful genre or something that's supposed to be more subdued. Like listen to the guitar tone. It's just like airy and the cymbals are high. It's like it's fucking badass. I love this album. I love this band, but like the guitars are like they're grating on the ear in a way, and I guess in a abrasive genre it makes sense. Even in their more recent, I shouldn't say, but they're more final albums, like a fucking, oh my god, bro, the Sound of Perseverance and stuff. It is a lot more full, just because this is technically a progressive album, I'd say. Fucking Sound of Perseverance. Not the point of the fucking video I'm trying to make, but I really should have written down notes, because then it'd be a lot easier to like say shit. I think that's a good summary of my feelings of Obverse, though. I understand this was kind of rambly. This is my first video. I plan on making more of them, just because otherwise I just think about this shit all day, and I have no outlet for it. So, I don't know. Overall takeaways. I'm going to go through everything one more time, because I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut at the end. Very, very impressive musicians. I think the format of this is unfortunate. I think a lot of people won't listen to it correctly, which is upsetting to me, and I'm sure maybe not upsetting to the artist, but it is a violation of their artistic intent if you don't listen to this in full 1 to fucking 4. Which you can see a lot of people don't. They drop off. I think there are very compelling rhythmic ideas. There are very compelling and interesting, I don't know what you'd call them, progressive lines. Like, obviously there's some musical awareness here. I'd fucking hope so from Dan and Chris. I don't think Emily's ever played with a progressive band before. I'm not trying to fucking gatekeep. Like, okay, I am trying to gatekeep. I hate every... Like, okay. I like her harp when it sounds like a nylon string guitar on this. I don't like her harp when it's through fucking 45 effects. I think it is a big detractor that keeps me from listening to this album more, because it is so grating on the ear, so high-end filled, so meaninglessly random. There's not any intent behind diddling a pedal until it sounds perfect. Yeah, I think that's a good summary of my thoughts on this. So, um, if you have any commentary on this or not, okay, I'm just happy to get some of this off my mind and into a more solid form. I might write an essay, just like to finalize my thoughts if I feel like they're not properly laid out in the video format. I also don't know what to look at, so I might look schizophrenic throughout this video. But overall, I am a fan of this album. I am a fan of Dan and Chris. I've listened to a bunch of their work before. I don't know any other Emily Hopkins albums, to be honest. Oh, the whole thing I wanted to do with this. Okay, wait, cut. Is like fucking talking about how being a pedal shillsman and having 45 quintillion pedals at your disposal makes you think you have to use them on everything. I have a Boss GX100. This is what I play through. It's my audio interface, connects to my monitors. This is what I play bass through. And it has like 45 amps. It has like every Boss pedal, and it has like a bunch of microphone sims. But like because it's so fucking annoying to deal with, maybe it is just my obstinance to it too. But I have every option available to me. I have all these shimmers and delays that Emily's using in this, and I can run them into each other in stereo through two different amps, and I have the ability to do it fairly easily. Within the matter of fucking 5 or 10 minutes, I could do it. But I never will. I just play on the fucking studio bass preset and change the volume as I need it. Because I feel like you don't really need all that. I don't know. Something to be said for minimalism in an ambient song. A great example of this is I'm starting to build out an ambient playlist at the same time, which is why I wanted to make this video in part. Harold Budd, this album, I forget what it's called. This is kind of a recent addition for me. Oh, I fucking on mobile it doesn't do this. Whatever. This album, you'll find it if you look. There is such. I'm gonna make a separate video on ambient music. I think once I get more in the know. But like, this could be a harp. This could be a harp. You could make this a harp. Obviously, maybe if you don't want fucking vocals. Space. Yo, wait, where's the 45 delays hitting each other? They're not here because it's fucking beautiful. There's much more of a story being told when your musicianship isn't being blindfolded and put into a fucking potato sack and thrown into the back of like a Cadillac by this fucking shackle and chain of effects that cheapen your ideas and can so easily poison a well of just like beautiful or I guess thorough beautiful yeah, these effects they poison the well of what would otherwise be fucking I think a pretty unique and inventive and important album. And I think it is still those things, I guess. I don't know. I listened to it again today because I knew I was going to make a video on it because I felt strongly about it. I don't know. Why would you use a harp instead of a guitar? If you're just going to destroy a beautiful instrument. It's so terrible. It is, I don't know. I wish they would go back and redo it because this is a great album. There's great ideas. There are some really cool things in it. It's just like I don't know. I struggle to listen to it in full because of the fucking harp. It's almost exclusively the harp. Like maybe I would have made some different choices in cymbals. I would have used the darker cymbal. I guess his choice in cymbal, I think he recorded drums last in this, from what I remember. His choice in cymbal is probably reflective of the shimmery sound that the harp was giving off. I would have used the dry cymbal. I like jazz. That's on me, I guess. But who the fuck am I, frankly? Uh, I'm in an Overwatch chair in my bedroom. These are our world class professional musicians, I guess. So, to each their own, I guess. But if I were to be consulted on this album, like I should be, bro, I should be consulted on everything that gets published. Um, I don't know. I would have pulled the plug on some of those pedals. It's so hard to listen to this album. It's so good though. There's so many good ideas in here, and as a six string bassist, that's what I play primarily. It gave me so much hope that guitar is on the way out. Not that I don't like guitar. I love guitar. Obviously, I mean, not obviously. You don't fucking know me, but I started as a guitar player. I love guitar. It just gave me so much hope that, oh my god, there's other instruments that can be played in a progressive setting, and it sounds good. Like they pair together well. It doesn't sound too different from, maybe it's not fair because Trioscapes has fucking saxophones and stuff, but I'd call them more jazzy prog than like ambient prog. I don't know. I just felt like this could have been done more tastefully. I feel like the overuse of pedals is my biggest issue with it. Yeah. Um, okay. Sorry for the rambly format. Thank you for watching. If you did watch, I just needed to get some of these thoughts out in a kind of jumbled mess. In the future, I think I'm gonna make notes going in rather than just like having all my thoughts and spilling them out for a more formatted video. I plan on doing maybe one a week, just talking about whatever, because I feel like it's a good outlet. But that's really it. Thanks.